Hello.
Hi.
Hey. Okay, it works. Nice.
Yay. Okay.
Nice to see you.
I was
Thank you
like
so much for
convinced
joining
that I
this.
was doing something wrong. So,
No, no, I don't think so.
okay, cool.
Yeah, thank you. Before I start, I
Hi.
just want to say a couple of things.
Okay. Okay.
One is that I'm recording this currently, um, and after we're done, I'll send you the recording and you can have a look through, and it will be like an unlisted link. And then if you feel like, no, this was good, then I'll share it with the world. And if you feel like, no, I'm not happy with this, then just let me know and I can edit out the
Okay.
part or the whole thing
Okay.
altogether. Like the idea is for this to be a fun thing for everyone involved. So like I want you to feel comfortable with whatever I'm sharing.
Yeah, yeah, for
Uh,
sure, for sure.
on that note, so like I have a bunch of questions that I forgot to open up on my phone, and
Uh-huh.
we can go through them like one by one if we want to, but we don't have to.
Okay.
And I'm like happier. I think I'm happier if we just let the conversation go to wherever it takes us.
Sure.
And obviously, everything I ask is voluntary too. So if you're like, oh, I don't want to talk about that, then say
No.
pass, and we'll move on to the next one.
Okay. I'll say
Uh,
move it
yeah,
to the
yeah,
left.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay,
Okay, so
got it.
I think that was everything I wanted to like cover in terms of just like the recording stuff.
Okay.
How are you today?
I'm like nervous right now.
Okay,
Uh, so,
why?
but I don't know. I'm always like very, I don't know. I get very like in my head about this, like having to have like meet and think that I'm like being interviewed. And then plus like, yeah, I have like my like final class project today with a little presentation like after. And so I'm kind of like also, I think I'm just jittery today. I'm like a
Sure,
jittery person.
fair enough.
Yeah.
We'll see how that sort of develops, but
Yeah.
just keep me
But it's
posted.
like nice to see you in person,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
in person-ish.
sure.
Yeah.
I feel the same, and
Cool.
I'm really excited that you agreed to do this because
Yeah.
I've been a fan of yours since I don't know a long time,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean the intention
Cool.
behind this whole like project thing that I'm doing with talking to people
Mhm.
that I like is I'm curious about the people that whose content I interact with on a daily basis and people that have
Sure.
made me giggle every day for years.
Totally.
Who are these
Totally.
people? And that's what
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm hoping to get to the bottom of that in the next hour.
Get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. No, I thought it was like pretty fun. I was like, that's cool. And yeah, I think I've like loved your account ever since coming. I had like left social media for quite a while and
Mm.
then returned the great return of the like pandemic, you know?
Oh.
Uh
So wait, you
and
were
so
active pre-pandemic.
no, I quit like social media like I think it was like 2015.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I got rid of like all of my everything. And but I was still in charge of like social media marketing for like my job at the time. But that was
Mhm.
like the only social media I was doing. I had no personal accounts. I didn't even have a Twitter at the time, which is like the most random one because somehow I always return to Twitter like first because it's like this like I don't know, like murky land of nothingness. I don't know.
So wait, why did you step away?
Because I'm so weird on social media all the time. And back then they were like my personal accounts. It was like my personal account, you know? And I just like, I had started posting like little, like, you know, kind of like joke. I was always kind of weird on social media, like from the inception of it, from like MySpace to like then Facebook. Like when Facebook first, I just have always taken it very lightly. I
Mhm.
take the internet super lightly and my like interaction with it and with the people on it, even if
Mhm.
I know them personally,
Mhm.
I just think of it as like, let's all just have fun in this game room, guys, you know?
Yeah.
And so, and not everybody thinks that, especially when you're starting to get into like people getting married online, you know, like social media. I'm married. This is my like baby.
Yeah,
Look at, and then
totally.
you make a
Everything's
joke
very
and then it's
important.
not funny.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That kind
totally.
of thing. And so, and then it was like, I think the politics junk at the time, like
Mm,
2015-ish era,
yeah.
like that was my like, I'm done with Facebook. I'm like finished with this. And then I think Rihanna like Mark Zuckerberg flagged Rihanna for something and her original
And you felt like
Instagram
enough
got
is enough.
taken down. Yes, that's exactly it. That was it. I was like, if she's out, I'm out, you know?
That's hilarious. Okay, and then
Yeah.
so
So,
Rihanna's out, but Rihanna's back on social media,
yeah,
so you decided to
yeah,
return.
yeah, yeah. Actually, I was nannying and then it became the pandemic and
Mm,
so the kids were home all the time. They were middle schoolers. And one of the boys, he was so into memes and none of the family members would be into it with him. And so I would sit with him and he would just show me, just scrolling through. And he was getting into like crazy memes where I was like, all, do not look at this. I'm going to get in trouble for like allowing you to be looking up like Epstein memes, like Bill Cosby stuff. And I'm like, oh God. But I'm like cracking up at it, going like, this is hilarious,
right, while telling him that
Um,
he's not allowed to enjoy this.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so he actually probably is he's the reason I started like shit posting
Yeah.
for sure because I
Wow.
loved the stuff that he was like showing me
That's
and
amazing.
I would, so yeah. Yeah.
And when was this?
2020,
Okay.
the end of 2020.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like a 5 or 6 year break,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah. I guess it
returning
was like a
in full
5 year,
force.
6 year break just about. And then yeah, came back. I started with like a different account and I let like people follow it that I knew. And then I shut that down, I think, in like 5 months. I just
Mm.
could not handle, like, my sister would call me every time I posted.
Hmm.
And so it was just like, no,
What would she say?
hi,
Oh.
what are you doing?
But out of
I
love or
see I see
concern,
you're
or
sitting there
you
online,
know,
so
yeah.
want to talk, want to hang out, let's do
Oh,
something.
okay,
I'm like,
okay.
actually, I want to sit here and just like post for 25 hours.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So,
Amazing. So obviously, I have a million questions around your account and the things you choose to post and stuff. But maybe
yeah.
maybe we can just start from the top, and for people that are not yet familiar with who you are, can you give
Yeah,
us
I'm like a
a short
baby
summary?
tiny account.
Well, I don't know, maybe in follower count, but not in cultural impact.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
uh,
Uh,
but who are you as a person?
who am
Like, share
I?
as much as you or as little as you want. Like, yeah, I'm
Okay.
just curious.
Yeah, who am I as a person? Well, my name is Amy. It's not carpal tunnel,
Yeah.
but I have carpal tunnel. And
Oh.
so, yeah, that's cool. But it's due to it's due to like a lot more than like scrolling. I like I've worked with like my hands for like my whole life. Like just in jobs whatever and been in the service industry since I was like 16 and then a lot of like childcare throughout and then my 20s are kind of like the crazy years that nobody really ever gets to hear about because they're crazy in a very unexpected way.
Oh, okay.
I worked for a nonprofit volunteer organization and it was like highly faith based and I was like highly faithfully religiously devoted. So that
Wow.
could come as kind of a surprise and that was like a decade of my life
Yeah.
basically from like 18 to 28,
So
27.
how has that shaped who you are and
Oof,
your online presence?
oof, I don't know. I have no idea. Well, like I always like a little bit of like irreverence and silliness and even when I was like a practicing Christian, I loved blasphemy. It's just like fun. Um
You can get in trouble for that, I hear. Yeah.
you can. Yeah. But so I don't know. I definitely think in some ways I can't tell if it like there's parts of me that thinks that it's like it gives me different insight into I don't know, but because I was involved, it's like some ways I think what I was involved with is much more fanatical than a lot of people get involved.
Hmm.
And so, in my opinion, I like end up blanketing the religions in like very, to, I don't know, intense ways. because of my experience
And
and like
and
coming out of it.
you right. So that was my follow-up question. Coming out of it,
Yeah.
is this something that's
Yeah.
behind you, or is it still part of
Oh
your
yeah.
life?
I'm like ex-evangelical, whatever
Oh,
that is.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like a atheist,
Whoa.
reborn. But like, I mean, also it's also like I don't know everything at all
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
or anything,
you and me both, I guess.
Yeah. It's like I just so animals, the planet are like they're my little guides.
Hmm.
So now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't
Um,
know. I don't know how it affects my what I do online. I don't know. I don't even know what I do online sometimes, to be honest. I feel like I'm like, what am I doing here?
but you know what? So I think that's actually part of the appeal for me.
Uh,
Seeing the things you post makes me feel like we're on a journey of exploration together.
yes,
To some extent,
100%.
because
Yes.
it's unexpected. I don't know what your next post will be about, or the tone that it will strike, or all I know is that I'm curious about what makes you feel curious. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
The world's a serious place.
yeah, 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 it sure is. Describe your account. What is it that you post? Someone who has never used Instagram before, like, what would they expect? What should they
So
expect?
I guess what you could expect, gosh, I feel like you should tell me. I don't know. Because my account, like sometimes I'm like, this is like, what have I done here? It's like a large quilt that 100 different people put together is kind of what I would think of, I guess, as my account. But obviously, like there is heavy pop culture influence. I have been a little pop culture lover since I was like a child, like just super into it, thought it was just a blast, magazines, all that good stuff, like ET Extra, Access Hollywood. That was that was the
Wait,
vibe.
what was the appeal? What is the
Oh, I
appeal?
don't well, okay. Well, as a little person, like
Mhm.
a 4-year old, my I was really, really into Saturday Night Live, but like because my parents showed me the old stuff, so it was
Mhm.
like the stuff with like Chevy Chase and like Gilda Radner and Bill Murray, and and Steve Martin. They do so much like body humor
Mhm.
that for me it was like very much like you could watch, and obviously as a 4-year old I'm not really computing the jokes or anything like that,
Yeah.
but I'm really enjoying like Gilda being eaten by a shark,
Yeah, yeah. And just the
you
tone
know
of it, I think,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, and her
it's very
crazy
comforting.
voices and stuff
Yeah.
and all of that, and so I loved to like entertain the fam,
Yeah. Yeah.
that was the thing that I was into, and so like I think the first job I ever wanted was to be a comedian on Saturday Night Live, and then it became like, okay, maybe I would. Then I wanted to just be like, I wanted to be behind the scenes on all of it, like doing the
So
page kind of work
what
in
changed?
introducing the famous people.
Why not be the comedian anymore? What changed?
Well, I got class clown plenty of times, so I
Yeah.
did it. I already did it.
All
No,
right. All right.
no,
You peaked.
you know, and yeah, I peaked in middle school. Okay.
Same.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I was hilarious in middle school. I'm always like, good job, like being so brave to be such a like fool,
Yeah.
you know?
What was it
Um,
recognized? But well, if you're voted class
yeah,
clown, okay.
yeah, definitely. People all, were like, ha ha ha, she's funny,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Okay.
And I had
Okay.
like a retainer at the time, and so it also gave me like a lisp, and I was, yeah, like very knobby, like everything. I was like a skeleton type of
Yeah.
child, like, and like would run into things. So it all just worked out really nicely for that time
I see
period.
I see a red thread. Yeah. But then you chose to get into devout Christianity instead.
Yeah. And, I would say, well, yeah, I like really struggled in my like end of like high school year, very like feeling very like lost, like this I don't know where I'm gonna go. I don't know what I'm gonna do. All my friends were like going off to 4 years, and I
Mm,
didn't like have that plan because I had really just been like a dodo bird my last like year of high school, just
mm,
fucking around to the nth,
mhm,
hence class clown. You know
mhm,
what I mean?
mhm.
Like just like so stupid. And so I was going to go to like the community college, but I was just very like, meh. And I was dabbling around too much in like party shit and ended up fucking myself over my first like semester of college, and then had this like come to Jesus moment, after, kind of having this like intense night of dark night of the soul, like 18 years old, like just turned 18, and like, what is my life, and
Sure.
like, oh, I've got like midterms tomorrow, and I don't even know what the like class is, and like, what am I gonna do? And then, had
I'm
this
imagining
whole,
you singing this whole thing. It's like a musical
right?
number.
I know, why do I do
Yeah.
that?
No,
I
I
don't know
like
why
it.
that happens. uh
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But like, yeah, and so I guess it was kind of that kind of thing. Like, my parents were always at church. Like, since I was like in kindergarten, they started getting heavily involved in church, and so I had this big conversation with them, and they were like, you just need to accept, like, you need to get into the faith, dig in, and I was
Mm.
like, I've never done that. Right on,
Okay.
and Passion of the Christ came out, and so I just was like convicted,
I remember my dad and I went to see that movie, and we both had to leave because we're both a little too like squeamish. So
Yeah,
all the blood and stuff, we were just like, okay, we're both nauseated. We need to get out of the movie theater.
yeah. No, I was like, it was so much. I think I closed my eyes so much in that
Yeah.
movie because it was a lot of blood.
Yeah,
Um,
it's strange. So I would consider myself to be a bit of like a horror movie buff. I
uh-huh.
watch so many horror movies, and
Yeah.
um, I don't like real gore, violence, injuries. Like I can't watch that stuff. But Passion of the Christ, for whatever reason, felt like less like the entertaining sort of haha pain and crazy monsters, and more just
Yeah.
like this really sucks, you know.
I'm I'm pretty sure that was purposeful
Yeah. Well,
on Mel
good
Gibson's
job, Mel
part
Gibson. Yeah.
to make me just like feel absolutely awful
Yeah.
for
Yeah, I
Jesus
guess
Christ.
he was telling some sort of story there, I guess.
I think
But
I
yeah.
think he might have been. Uh,
I'm curious about like okay, so you grew up, you're goofy.
yeah, no, but it worked on little 18-year-old me, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah,
Oh, sorry. I
yeah,
think our internet maybe did something, but
definitely.
it's coming
Oh,
back.
did I cut out?
No, no, you're
It's
good.
back.
You're good again. Yeah, you're just like slightly low res. No, we're back. Now you're gone.
Oh,
No, now you're back again. I don't know what's going on. Give me a
I think
second.
I fixed it.
Oh, you fixed it?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Mm,
Fingers crossed.
yeah.
It's still a little frozen over here. Um,
Is it?
yeah.
What about now?
No, I can hear you just
Are
fine.
you?
Okay, now you're coming back. Okay.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Am I back to
Yeah.
life?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're good.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Sorry. Um,
Um.
I was gonna say, so
Yeah.
it strikes me that you have a goofy account. You know, it's like
Yes. A
it, it
very goofy
it's
one.
very like nostalgic and celebrity and stuff, but you're not necessarily
Yes.
portraying people in the light that they would want to be portrayed in, right?
Oh,
You're poking fun of things and you're making people look goofy. Um,
yeah.
and what I'm sensing already from talking to you for 10 minutes is that you have a bit of an outsider perspective.
Probably.
Yeah. I don't
I
know.
don't
I
know.
don't want to lead the
Probably.
questions too much, but you strike me as someone who positions yourself outside of the
Oh,
action.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 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 For sure. For sure. For sure. And I like that. I like being kind of like, I like being more of like an observer,
Yeah.
uh, a commentator,
Yeah.
if you will. Like, I'm just making commentary, and I like to throw a little bit of like a dig in there just to remind people that we're all just like freaking people. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, everybody's just a person. It's like, and because as like a young person being like kind of really into the entertainment world, thinking like, wow, that's probably the greatest job in the world.
Mm-hmm.
These are the greatest jobs that you could ever have. Like,
Mm-hmm.
imagine.
Mm.
And then all the people that go, well, they signed up for that, and da 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 da. When the bad things happen, they get like overcrowded and stuff. And
Yeah.
then you watch it like from like a bird's eye view. One time I was watching Kim Kardashian or something when she had first had that first baby. I don't remember the names. But like she had the first baby and she walks out of like a store and it was like literally like just like I think like rows deep of just like paparazzi just around her. And she's
Mm.
taking like these tiny ass steps with her like baby. And I was like, do people sign up for this? Like, I don't think so. This like it looks like a horror film to me.
Yeah.
Like it just feels so like zombie-esque and I don't know. In some ways I kind of like reminding people that we're not zombies and nobody really is and
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to treat people like it.
Mm-hmm.
But or even condone that behavior. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, to
So,
some extent, I agree with you. I also think that some
yeah.
people seek this out in some sort of
Oh,
misconstrued
yes.
ideal that they are
Yes.
aspiring to. Um,
Yeah.
but maybe on that note, so yeah, you mentioned like the commentatorship.
Mm,
I
yeah,
think there are the
that's
people that do whatever they do, and then there are the people that position it and yeah, puts the social commentary or the juxtaposition or whatever it may be to actually give it some imbue it with some sort of significance. Sorry, there were like three $10 words in there, but like I
no, it's I
y-
got them all.
yeah, no, obviously you did, but I don't know who else is watching this. But
All right.
I'm just thinking, I don't know, like what is fame to you? What is it, and what should it be?
Well, I don't know. I don't freaking know. I mean, I kind of like in the like fame, I think what makes people famous,
Hmm.
like if you're I don't know, we can do like we'll do something stupid here. Okay, because I think everybody should know about just me and my account because you'll end up seeing it 1,000 times and then people DM me, either because it's very hard to some people it's I know that tone is not always shown. Do you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In certain things that you share or whatever. And things can seem like you're maybe making fun of somebody or poking fun or trying to be negative. And often, as far as like famous people that
Mm-hmm.
I like repost, yes, I'm trying to poke fun at them or be like the spectacle, like
Mm-hmm.
just checking out the spectacle. But also sometimes I think it's just kind of fun to see like Britney Spears, for example. Okay, she's like I'm like a fan, I'm like B Army, right?
Sure.
Okay? Like that's me. Uh and I don't even care. Like I'll fight for her until I die. You know
Yeah,
what I
sure.
mean? Like
Yeah, leave her alone and all
and
those things. Yeah.
leave her alone and all those things. But like I also like to have fun with the insanity of what she presents. Do you know what I mean?
See, exactly. So now you're onto something because there's like the people who are, ostensibly regular people, but then there's also
Yeah.
the concept of fame, which they can become
Yes.
a symbol for. And I think you can poke
Yes.
fun of both, and both can be
Yes.
valid targets in their own right. But when you confuse one for the other, then that's when you start getting into trouble. And like people can be upset with you for being cruel when in reality all you're doing is like making fun of, celebrity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, making fun of that, like, yeah, the idea that, and that people want to be so involved with it. Do you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody feels like they can have like a piece of that, and
It's like
they
that
want to
song
have
"Piece
some.
of Me" by Britney Spears.
Oh my God, yeah, just like that, just like that. But yeah, I don't know. I think like she to me, but like in her heyday, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know she lip syncs.
Mm-hmm.
I know she did. I hope that everybody also knows that like
Mm-hmm.
NSYNC does and so does Backstreet Boys. Like literally all the like pop stars that we were watching
Mm-hmm.
were having like full on backtracks behind them, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You can't do cardio for 90 minutes and sing,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
sorry guys,
Yeah.
like sorry to break it to everybody.
Yeah.
But like so I because I
Devastating.
don't really care about that
Yeah.
because that they were all very it's not like they were some amazing musicians. They were literally just entertainers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I performers and you're allowed to be a performer and not be the one best singer on the planet. You
And
know what I
vice
mean?
versa. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and vice versa. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so I don't know. Like I'm always like, take it for what it is. Don't take it out of context and
Hmm.
make it something it's not.
Hmm.
And everybody can enjoy whatever they want. But no lie. I mean, I've been to plenty of Britney Spears concerts, and those are a blast. They're a total blast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're way more fun than Taylor Swift's, even though Taylor Swift is like more ginormously
We're gonna
like,
get so much hate mail for whatever this is. Yeah. This Taylor
yeah,
Swift bashing.
yeah. Oh, I'll bash her any day. See, she's one that I would like, yeah, anytime I show her, you should just know it's like negative, this is negative. But, yeah, I listen to some of her songs and she's chill, whatever, it's pop music.
Yeah.
But, that's besides the point. But yeah, I guess I think that fame is like I guess it's like who knows what fame is, but it is like a tangible kind of object that people definitely can somehow reach. And
Hmm.
it never seems, to always signify quality of artistry
Yeah.
necessarily.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't think the most famous people are the most spectacular artists in whatever realm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. So sometimes
And
I
so,
feel like
yeah.
we almost need some sort of, yeah, again, like symbolic representation of these little aspects we have in our brain. We just need someone to occupy that space.
Yes.
We need a little bit of reverence in our life, or entertainment, or
Yeah.
spectacle, or scandal, or whatever it is, and then we
Yes.
find the person that most closely approximates that, and then that's who they are now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's like a perfect way to say it.
Um,
Yeah.
why did you agree to being interviewed?
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? I think I agreed to it because I've I've always loved your account. Like ever since I got back online, I had found you back when you were not you now,
Yeah.
who you were before,
Right.
you know.
My previous incantation.
And I know, yeah, yeah. And so, and then you were like this huge account that was like would like reshare my stuff like way back in the day when it was like, and I think I've gone through kind of phases. I'm sure that you've like of what type of thing I'm sharing at the time,
Hmm.
um, or even like my damn captions that like I feel like sometimes I would be so personal in them, and then sometimes it's like complete vagary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody could find out who I was. I'll post my face and then I will never post my face for like 90 days and only give it to close friends type thing. And I think that you became just like somebody that I definitely considered like a pal. And yeah, love your account. I think it's always so much fun. And
Thank you.
yeah, I was like, yes, sure, why not? Why not do this? That can be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm very grateful and glad. Um, you mentioned that you go through, I don't know, like different stages of, or different
Yeah.
focus areas of your
Yeah.
posting.
Yeah.
Where do you see it going in the future? Like, who, what will I see when I open your account a year or two from now?
Oh, that's interesting. You want to know? So I'm always, I'm always on the verge of deleting my account. Everybody should always know that too. It's like I have this just like love hate relationship with it. And because we're also multifaceted, and then like your account will grow by like maybe 500 and in some like little period, and then there's these new people in your DMs and they're asking for things like from you, like don't post that, we don't want to see that, we go back to like the memes or whatever. And I'm like, whoa, 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 everybody. I like literally started this account like
Hmm.
just for total fun, like
Yeah.
literally just for fun. And it was, in some senses, when I first started it, I kind of thought of it as my own little like corner of like, it's my own little journal. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
la 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 la. And
Definitely.
so I can do what I want. I can be
Yeah.
as sad as I want. I can be as mad as I want. I can show the art that I'm enjoying. I can show movies that I like, or I can be funny. And so that's, I mean, I think that if I keep staying around all the time, I think that, I hope that I feel like I have to grow up somewhere in it,
Hmm.
I guess.
What
Because
does that
sometimes
mean?
I feel like, am I too childish,
What does growing up mean?
I don't know, more like art, like,
Yes, oil paintings. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
like
Right.
the Dutch
Yeah.
paintings,
Have a monocle. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, and like instead, like my stories will all just be me like next to like a painting being like, "Do you notice the Caravaggio
Yeah, right.
of the, arabesque?"
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the
Those are
what's it
art
called?
words.
The
I bet you probably don't get it.
Caravaggio, I know him, but you could say that you the indelible sfumato or whatever. Like, yeah, see?
Yes.
We can use
See?
words like that.
That's where my account is headed. So
Yeah.
everybody get ready.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
No, no. Um, I don't know. I think, yeah, I would hope that it would just stay fluid and that
Yeah.
most of all, I like to make sure that I stay pretty much like true to myself, both like in anonymity and then uh also like, I don't know, relatability, like, and a sense of like, I don't know, like we're hanging out,
Yeah.
you're getting to know me,
Yeah.
whatever. Like, because if you've followed me long enough, I'm sure there are things that people, if they've paid attention, could know about me
Yeah.
because I've talked many, that kind of thing. And so I
But
guess, yeah.
it's strange. So back to the fame aspect of it, I consider you to be a little bit famous in that, I don't know how well known you are widely, but
Yeah.
you stand out to me, like I feel like I know
Oh,
you, and this is
yeah.
literally the first time we've ever talked.
Hmm.
So obviously a lot of that is just me projecting onto you from what I've seen, and vice versa, most likely. You've seen
Sure.
what the
Yeah.
things I
I've
post,
seen you. Yeah. Yeah.
but it's so strange that it takes on this form of, yeah, um, some sort of intimacy in that,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
we're close somehow,
Yeah.
even though we exist very far away from each other.
Yeah, and not in this like it's like, yeah, I don't even know if you have siblings or, do you talk to your parents? I don't We don't know if we talk to
We
our
don't know any
parents,
of
if
those things.
we're
Yeah.
we don't know any of those
Yeah.
things. I don't know if you have like a long-term partner, nothing. So it's like I think that those kinds of things are I kind of like that aspect of anonymity
Mm-hmm.
and then the tumbling of understanding and getting to know each other,
Yeah.
because it comes more like general and fluid in a sense than when if you were to, just meet somebody and then find everything out right away.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Whatever.
Tina Fey talks about that she's over dating because it's just a lot of listing of siblings, the first few dates. Yeah.
Well,
Um,
yeah, exactly. Like it's like that kind of thing. The dates kind of idea of like, let's talk about like, oh, so what do you do? What are
yeah,
your hobbies?
exactly.
You
But we're bypassing that online because it's like straight to what are your innermost desires and fears, and yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly right. Yeah, we bypass it all.
yeah,
You get right into the like heart of the emotion,
yeah,
you know? Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
How do you feel about your online footprint?
I, what Talk to me about an online footprint because people tell me about these things and
Mm-hmm.
I need to you can if okay, if I told you my real name
Mm-hmm.
and you looked it up online,
Mm-hmm.
you probably would you can only find out like you can find out you'll never see a photo of my face
Mm-hmm.
and you will just find out my siblings and potential they think that I'm related to certain people.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Like and so what's tell me more about the online footprint.
No, I mean, the relationships you've built online, the things you post, the
Okay.
opinions you've shared, the
Okay.
jokes you've posted.
Okay.
Do you stand by them? Do you regret anything? Do you feel like this is still true and the world still needs to see this? Or, this was just a phase and I'm leaving it up to what's it called? Self flagellate?
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you feel?
That okay, okay. So not
there.
like not as in privacy type of like I don't know why I always thought of like an online footprint as like if you could locate somebody's account back to them as a person.
Oh, so I remember seeing on what
I
was it
don't know
called?
why I
The
think
that Russian V contact, whatever. You know, the big social
yeah,
media thing a few years ago, or
yes.
I'm sure
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
still
yeah.
around. But I know they discussed the fact that there were these like hackers online, and they would go into porn, like pornos, porn videos,
Okay.
whatever they're called,
Yeah.
the
I think
pornographic,
that's what they call
yeah,
them.
the films,
Porn
the
videos,
blue films, yeah. And anyway,
porn films,
that's right. And
porn cinema.
they would take screenshots. They would run some like facial recognition thing on the people, and then they would harass them, reach out to their employers, and get them fired. And just for as a
Just for
joke,
a laugh.
just yeah, just to be
Wow.
jerks, I guess.
Oof.
That's one interpretation. But I'm just curious about you are active online. You post a lot of stuff. What are your
Yes.
thoughts around being that kind of person? Because not everyone is.
I know. I
Yeah,
found that out.
yeah.
I'm always shocked that people don't know what's going on like online and then I'm
Mm-hmm.
like god, I guess I just like it's like this you know, I like to look at all the different little apps and I love like comment places. So, okay, about the footprint type of thing. Like, yeah, I guess in some ways there have been things that I've regretted because sometimes I used to be like very reactive and would just like comment back on it, like anything that like bothered me. And
Mm.
I would report people if I just hated their content. Like, and it was not even like, oh, like a meme account that shared like content that I didn't like. It would be like, would be like a friend of mine, you know,
Sally
like
from middle school, yeah.
get rid of this. Your picture's stupid, you know, like and so um or I would just be very like block happy and stuff and just be
Yeah,
like, you're blocked. I hate you, you know,
yeah.
like just like so stupid. And yeah, so that
I'm laughing because
it,
I'm suffering a little because it's so relatable. Yeah.
yeah. So I've done that kind of thing and that
Yeah.
kind of thing is like yeah, that kind of thing I like regret. I prefer that's why I prefer being like more observational and
Mm-hmm.
less like interactive
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like when I get interactive, something goes wrong. Like
Mm.
there it's like yeah, which is like you know, I think that's it can be like a common thread in my life is like me explaining something and it just not happening. Do you know what I mean? The
No,
other side
I
doesn't
don't know.
understand what I'm saying,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
sure, sure.
Like
Yeah, that
or
happens to me
get
a
where
lot.
I'm coming from. And so then I have to like explain the whole bit of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like all the pieces of and then it's like, oh, this is like I'm annoying,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. There's
That
a
that
Japanese proverb which is like the nail that sticks out gets cut off. And I think sometimes people that just choose to shut up and not express their views and opinions, they must have a really like smooth ride through life somehow, you
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's also not necessarily something that you choose to do. You know, I think
Hmm.
for myself, I can trace it back to being yay high. You know, and it sounds like
Yeah.
from you at a young age, you want to poke fun and you want to annoy and you want to be the clown. Like you can't help
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
when
Yes.
did you realize that you were funny?
I was probably about 4, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, making my family laugh. I don't know, like probably my like, and I'll never know if it's because of the video footage or if it's because I actually have the memory. But my best friend, my first best friend, you know, the next door neighbor, um, it was like Halloween night or something, and he was coming over so that we could go trick or treating, and I was dressed as like an elephant, and I had a big like pillow in my, you know, to be my elephant belly, right?
Yeah.
And I was just like, I was, and I still hadn't had like I wasn't fully dressed or something, so I didn't have the pants on or my like little elephant head that was there, and then he was coming up to the door and I guess he was like at the screen and like I was just sitting there like this, like holding the belly, like making like these like weird like noises and stuff. And then he like his name was Tommy, and he was like, "Oh, what happened to Amy? What happened to Amy?" And like we're like sitting there, and I was like, "Oh," rah, rah, rah," like, and it was something so stupid. And then like the whole family laughed, and Tommy was like
Yeah, I can't
cracking
blame
up,
them.
and it was like just this dumbest thing. And I can only, I'm like, I don't even know if that's my memory, if that's just the VCR,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah.
But
But you need to commit
seeing,
at this point. Yeah, it's
yeah,
yours
and then
now.
seeing myself, I'm like, oh, that is like a very silly little child, you
Yeah,
know? Like,
yeah.
and, uh, and then I just, yeah, I loved to see people laugh. I thought it was just a blast. I thought
Nice.
it was so fun.
Yeah.
Make them laugh. Yeah.
What happened to the comedian slash page dreams?
Those dreams, yeah, my dreams. Well, they morphed, you know.
Yeah.
I think that I also like, because I didn't take, because of like my decade of doing volunteer work, it really changed my life kind of a lot. And I I was very funny all during that time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I made the people laugh that I was hanging with,
Mm-hmm.
and I liked that always. And I remember one time somebody, it was like this missionary guy, and I was doing this big missions and evangelism kind of schooling,
Mm-hmm.
like and you were supposed to like, everybody that was in the school was supposed to like have some place that they were destined to go preach the gospel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was such like a la 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 la, and I think I was like 21 years old, something like that. And so, like he came and sat with me because I didn't have my place, you know. I didn't have my
Your calling or
whatever
whatever. Yeah.
calling.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah. I didn't have one.
Mm.
And so I remember telling the director guy, you know, like, I don't have one, but like, I mean, I would love to go anywhere and like be there and help and stuff. And I never really preached the gospel.
Mm.
I did like, I didn't really get into that aspect of it. I really liked the volunteer work
Mm.
that I got to do more than anything. But and it was always faith based and tied. But you did, I did get to do a lot of freaking cool stuff, and so I can't knock that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he looked at me and said like, what matters to you? Like, what gives you passion? And like, what do you expect to like see and give to the world? And I was like, oh, I think I said like, oh, well, like fun. I just like want to have fun and
Mm-hmm.
be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got like massively admonished for it.
Yeah, yeah,
You
of
know what I
course,
mean?
of
It
course.
was,
No, no, it has to be real, real work. No, no laughing
yeah.
at
And
work.
so,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I remember getting like, feeling pretty dejected at the time, and
Yeah.
feeling like, gosh, like, how will God ever use me if I just like want to have fun and
Mm-hmm.
I'm too flippant? And
Mm-hmm.
so I think at that time, like from 21 to about 27, I became kind of like trying to be very serious about figuring out how to be called
Okay.
and
Yeah.
have my higher calling, have my like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then when I was 27, I went and worked for a private school in China, and I lived with uh, a few like Chinese girls that were also teachers, and that was kind of the beginning of the end. Uh, I stopped. I became so much more interested in. I recognized that I was interested in people and culture
Mm-hmm.
and who we are and how we relate and how we understand the world and what worldview is
Mm-hmm.
and how flexible that is across time and people.
Mm.
Um, and I didn't really care about Jesus or spreading his gospel anymore. And
Yeah.
so I was like, I'm done filling in extra words with this.
Mm.
I just want to, I do want to have fun. And yeah,
I
and
I
that
mean,
seems like it works fine.
yeah, I was gonna say it. It's still. I don't know, it fits into my worldview somehow. You know, you can
Mhm.
you can be a fun person. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
right?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Um, Sorry, I got sidetracked. I have to get back to my list.
Oh, yes, yeah.
How many followers do you have?
Do I think I have 3,000?
Okay, is
3,000?
that the
3,200-ish?
have you ever had more? Is this roughly where it's been? Is this a recent thing?
Well, okay, so don't worry about this, but we're not going to talk about this too much. I had a Britney fan account, and that
Amazing.
one had 6,000 followers or
Oh
something like
wow.
that.
Okay.
And that was the highest I ever got.
Yeah. Okay.
And I left when the Free Britney thing got too intense.
Yeah. So yeah,
Mhm.
of course, just all the drama. Uh,
Have no idea. It was out of control. You had to be so careful to post
wow.
anything. It would
Wow.
flip. You post a paparazzi photo, take this down.
Yeah.
You must not care about Britney at all. And I'm like, "Oh, you don't either, bro." Like, whatever, you
So
know.
so how do you interact with people that want you to change the things you post?
I
And
probably
how's that evolved?
so so now I just delete them.
Okay.
I delete their when they say it, they say, "Where's the memes?" I just delete the little thing,
Nice.
you know. Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Yeah.
But before I used to say like I used to respond and go like, "No, thank you," or
Mm.
something like
Mm.
that.
Sure. So that's some kind of evolution, I guess.
Yeah. I remember one time I asked and said, "Is it rude to to tell people no thank you?" You know, because I used to not like just when people would just start sending you memes and videos, even though
Mm.
you've never spoken to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like you guys have never talked to each other or anything.
Yeah.
And I don't like the content that they would send.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, this doesn't do nothing. You just wasted a minute and a half of my life."
Yeah.
Like, and so I would tell them that
Yeah.
or like say like, "No, thank you."
Mm.
And then
Mm.
I got told that that was rude.
Yeah. But you know, I think it's less about the words you use and more the fact that people see you as being this funny, personable person, and
Yeah.
they want to bask in your light, you know, and they put in the effort, and so they expect it to be reciprocal. And when they don't get back what they put in, they feel like you're a jerk.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that I think people think I'm a major jerk, but I am actually pretty. Most people that know me like me,
yeah. Yeah. I would assume so. Um,
and I'm not really mean to people
yeah.
in all reality.
But you know
Like,
what? I've had similar things happen to me before where I do have a handful of people that send me things still, and they're very
yes,
diverse
same.
things. Every so often, I will like something a lot and I'll repost it.
Mm,
But I appreciate the fact that they think of me when they see, you know, the little seal pup that does its thing, or, you know, this interesting political event somewhere, or, you know, whatever it may be. I feel like you can form relationships around that, even though I'm not necessarily reposting everything. But then you have the
yeah,
people that would, yeah, just to your point, like barrage you with
yeah, just flood
Pepe
you
the
with it.
Frog things, you know, and like I'm
Yeah, yeah,
okay, you
yeah.
know, because they see a meme and they think of you as being a meme, what's it called,
Person,
meme lord. Yeah, exactly. And
right,
so they want to be part of that. And it's like to me
right.
they're compartmentalizing what I'm trying to do. It's like in the wrong
Yeah,
way. They're
yeah,
misunderstanding something. And then I've done
yeah.
exactly what you've done. I've said, you know, thank you, but it's overwhelming. Can you please send me maybe like one or two per day and then leave it at that?
Cap it there.
Yeah, and
Oh,
then
see, I like that.
yeah, and I've honestly done that before. I've said, you know, like I appreciate you
Yeah,
taking the time to send this to me, but
yeah,
it's a little much. I feel overwhelmed and I have a tough time keeping up with
yeah.
my inbox. Maybe you can pause for a
Yes,
while, or you can, you know, send me your favorite for the
yeah,
week, and that's
yeah,
okay. But just asking
yeah,
people to be a little bit more mindful of my
yeah,
time and my focus, because I think I mean this is a natural thing. You have that sort of recency bias, right? When we talk, you'll be top of mind for me for the next several hours or days or weeks or whatever it may be. But
right.
then you'll talk to a bunch of other people, and you know you'll get sidetracked, or there's this thing here now that you need to focus on, while I'm still in you know the
Yes.
recent interaction,
You're like, "Hey."
and that happens to people a lot, where they just sort of anchor down into the exchange that you had, and they don't move
Yeah,
on from it. And I obviously sometimes it veers into territory that's a little bit like scary or uncomfortable, but
yeah,
for the most part it's just like a passing little thing. So if you, I mean, I try to just let people know as honestly as I can without, offending anyone. But I also think
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it depends on who
See
you
how it
are.
goes.
If you're a man or a woman or anything else, or if you, I don't know, like it depends on the type of audience you have too. Some audiences are
Yeah,
very respectful and constructive and nice and mature, and
yeah,
some are, filled with trolls, which makes it a little bit more difficult. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And I think it's like I have stopped being such a serial responder
yeah,
because I used to just like respond to literally every single person
yeah,
that would DM me,
yeah.
every single one. You know what I mean?
I do it
And it
some.
was like,
I used to
I
do that
shouldn't
too,
do
and
that.
then I still like I try to react to everything just to acknowledge that someone's there. But I also I
Yeah,
recognize the fact that when if I take the time to send something to you and you just react with an emoji, that can feel a little dismissive. It's like they just
I
sort of
know,
pat you on the
huh?
head, and it's not giving the
Yeah,
energy back. But
yeah.
it's the flight attendant analogy. Like you put your own
Mhm,
thing on first.
mhm.
So like take care of yourself first, and then everyone else is secondary. And I think that's what you have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
do. So even if people do
yeah,
feel a little dismissed or indignant because you didn't spend enough time on the
yeah,
interaction, I think that's okay. Everyone doesn't
yeah,
have to like me. I've noticed like in the past few years. Yeah, it took me a long time
yeah,
to get there.
for sure.
Yeah,
I think, yeah, that's like definitely.
yeah, yeah,
That's something to like come to and be
yeah,
like, it's fine. It's totally fine that not everyone in the world likes me.
yeah, yeah. It's a tough realization, but it's part of growing up, I
Yeah,
guess.
it's good for us.
Yeah. You said you're always on the verge of deleting your account.
Yeah,
Tell us about your account name.
can't delete.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where did it come from?
it's
What is it in reference to?
well, because I couldn't remember it was initially it was some so like yeah, I start so many accounts, Simon, just like all
Oh.
the time. It's just like I
Wait,
used to
still?
do it just like no, not anymore, not
Oh,
anymore.
because I need to
This was like all
follow all
like
of them.
2020 and back in like 2015 when I was exiting, I was doing all these aesthetic accounts, but nobody really had them.
Mm.
It was kind of like I guess it was just starting like what 2014,
Hmm.
2015 people started kind of doing more aesthetic stuff
Yeah.
on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I just would try them out and then delete them, try them out, delete them.
Mm.
And then I did that initially in 2020. I had something like 5 accounts going at once at one time. They were just all these like ideas that I had. It was like and the Britney one was like just it took over. It was like that like blew up right away and had lots of followers. And
Mm.
so I had to like tend to it like a little daily plant, like but then I had these other ones and one of them was it was called like Diary of All My Past Lives and it was literally just photographs of like my actual photographs from my like Nikon camera from like the early 2000s and like
Oh,
like
yeah.
scanned photos and stuff. And I would just post them all the time. But obviously, it attracted like lots of people I knew and stuff. And then I deleted everybody and deleted all of the content. And then I was trying to delete the actual account and could not.
Mm.
And so, and I tried it like because it was like I wanted to, I couldn't remember. So sometimes I do a weird thing online also. I start accounts just with a nondescript email that I can't even get to.
Mm.
And then just a password that I'll never remember and then I just have this account that if it gets deleted, if it disappears, I can't ever get back to it. It's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know why I did that. I don't know where I started it, but yeah, because of that account, I just it was months later and it was still sitting there, just this dumb little account that had like I think it ended up being called like diary and had just all these like underscores, but nothing was there and it was just like empty. And then I like looked at it and I was like, okay, I can't delete this. And voila.
So wait, is it because you're like unable to delete it or can't as in
Yeah.
you're unable to?
Initially it was
Okay.
because I was legitimately unable
I
to.
see. Because I
Then
thought for a
I had
second
to
it was more
double on
like yeah, you were telling yourself I'm not allowed to delete this, you know.
that too.
Yeah, a
Yes,
little bit of both.
it now it works both ways.
Yeah.
Like, it initially started, yeah, as just like completely because I couldn't delete the account, and then it became I don't want to, and this is fun, so keep it here don't delete it.
What
It's
would
like a reminder to myself, come on, it's fine.
what would push you over the edge? What would make you delete your account?
Oh, just a weird day.
A weird day? That's all it takes?
Yeah.
My goodness. All right.
No, 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 no. I actually don't know anymore. Sometimes I think it would be like me getting in my own head thinking like I don't need this, or like, how like there's lots of our peers, adult peers,
Mm,
because you and I are adults, and so our peers are adults, and
mm,
like, if you told them about this, like, they'd be like, "You spend your time doing that.
yeah,
I have 3 children and have to feed them
that's right. Yeah,
right now.
yeah,
You don't even know what it's like."
yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Don't talk to
And
me
so
before I have
I
my
think
coffee
me in
and
my own
my
head
glass of
about
wine.
like
Yeah,
peer pressure,
yeah,
my adult peer pressure that kicks
yeah,
in.
yeah. Um, do you have an adult life outside of Instagram?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Do the two ever
I
collide?
uh I think they yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think all the stuff like on Instagram is what I'm like.
Yeah, yeah.
And so like it's very hard for it to detach from me,
Mm,
but it's, you know, that's like that's what I am like in real life. Uh and so that's my adult life looks like that, but I do have all the responsibilities and I get most things done. Sometimes I'm quite motivationless,
mm,
but I also like revel in those days because a lot of times it's like so much is going on,
yeah, yeah.
between like tending to, friends, family, life, house, bills, work,
Yuck.
future plans. I don't know, just
Yeah.
everything, like finishing school because I've been like a serial constant finishing schooler.
Mm,
So yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Um, do the people in your regular life ever come across your Instagram account?
No.
No? Never?
Uh,
Not even your
well,
sister that you mentioned before?
no. So yeah, no, I do not let them into that part because I really want it to be like my own little safe space.
Yeah.
There are some coworkers
Mm,
that are there,
mm.
but that's it. Just a few
How do they feel
coworkers.
about what you post?
They think it's funny. They
Okay.
think it's really funny. They like it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they think I'm being crazy,
Yeah.
but they mostly think it's funny.
Yeah.
And or they'll like respond, especially if I do like one of those like long caption kind of or my big rants, they'll respond to those
Yeah.
like, um but yeah. And my best friend's husband, he follows randomly. He's like the only real human that like other than coworkers that is there.
Hmm.
But and he'll definitely he's like, "What are you doing?" Uh, and I'm like, "Just don't worry about it, okay?"
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah. No, thank
yeah.
you.
But
Yeah.
he likes the memes and stuff, so he I let him be there.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, I'm like, if you stay good, you're allowed to stick around.
What are your followers like in general? What type of
Very
people are they?
nice and
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Any exceptions to that?
I mean, there's some annoying people,
Yeah.
but God bless them.
Yeah.
Um,
Sure.
they're just having fun online, so whatever.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think I feel like what I think that a lot of my followers are my peers mostly, like,
Mm.
and it seems like I don't know. There's plenty of like uh I don't know. I think a lot of mine are meme accounts that mostly follow me that now have become like mutuals over time, and
Mm.
so
Mm.
we talk. And then I think I have some fun like younger followers that like because my I know that my content definitely can like appeal to a younger audience because it can be pretty silly and pretty like surfacey, jokey, kid like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I mean,
Goofy.
I've always
Yeah.
loved that stuff. It's like
Yeah.
I don't mind. I don't feel like I don't know. I don't think there has to be a cap on when you have to stop liking Ren and Stimpy or something.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
definitely. So
um,
what makes a good Instagram account to you?
what makes a good Instagram account?
Hmm.
Well, okay. So let me think. Okay, I'm gonna mention two accounts
Okay.
that I really, really love. That I'm always like, yes. Well, okay, fine. There's like a few accounts that I think all display like things that I really love. Like Gobble Me, Swallow Me, 422.
Spectacular. Yeah.
Uh, just wonderful,
Yeah.
hilarious, light, fun,
There's some heart there too.
nice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
just like just love it.
Hmm.
Just love everything about that account. Um, is it? I think he changed his name, but because it got deleted, but spinal meningitis.
Hmm.
How would you say that? Yeah, and he has like been my like friend since when I like first started Can't Delete,
Mm.
like the very onset. He's like I think he was one of my like first 60 followers. Um, and he's always been like cool, and I really like that he adds himself
Yeah.
into it all the
Yeah.
time. I just think it's like fun, and because of like uh just like his stuff is nostalgic too, and just like that kind of thing. So I love, I guess, like nostalgia, humor, and like yourself like peeking through, I think that's really fun.
Yeah.
um and just like the, I guess, like from different people, for me looking at other people's accounts, because I guess like I think my account is crazy. uh
Yeah. Yeah.
like
So
I
I
don't,
was
I like
describing
don't.
uh, you to my partner earlier, and I said I'm talking
Hmm.
to Can't Delete, and she said, "Oh, I don't know who that is," and I said, "Well, she has an amazing account, but she's a little crazy." And like you are, but I mean that
Yeah,
in a loving way, and I hope you
thank you.
recognize that, but you are a little unhinged, but
Yeah,
like friendly
like
unhinged.
fully.
You're not like
Yeah.
scaring me, and I don't feel like you're gonna show up at my my
No.
doorstep. But again, like you are on a journey of exploration, and anything can happen, and I love being part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So like yeah, because of my unhingedness
yeah,
online, like when people, if my followers, when they notice the unhingedness and they send me, this is my least favorite DM you could ever send me in all of anybody's life,
hmm,
is are you okay, or you good? And I just think you're this close to getting blocked, my brother.
yeah, yeah,
Like, do you not, have you not been following me that long
yeah,
to know that I am absolutely insane right here?
yeah.
Like,
But it
uh,
takes either like confidence or delusion to actually want to double down on those sides of yourself,
yeah,
right? And it's hard
yeah,
to tell from an outside observer. Is this
yeah,
because I'm being serious? Like you are either very mature and you know what you like and what you dislike, or you're just like removed from yourself. Can go one of
yeah,
two ways.
yeah.
Yeah,
I guess I like to think of like my account as like, if you could cut open my head and like open it up,
yeah,
that's my account. Do
yeah,
you know what I mean? So like, and in when I'm most unhinged, it's just because you're like you're inside here with me at the time.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
But I don't walk around like yelling and stuff.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed to hear that, but also I'm glad for you,
Well,
right?
okay, that's actually probably not true, because my coworkers would probably be like, Amy, you actually are totally crazy. Um, because yeah, I
Yeah,
am totally crazy. So but I think that actually, a lot of accounts that I follow I like because of the little
yeah,
kick of crazy that
yeah, yeah,
that
for sure.
shows up
There's a
in there,
little
you
spark there.
know a
Yeah.
little spark. Yeah. And yeah, I guess I like your account. One thing that I love about your account is like yours feels like this like hub of everything that's going on in the meme world, and then plus you throw in like current events and real stuff and your own like interests. And yeah, I don't know, I think that, I guess that's what to me makes a really great account.
Yeah.
Like,
My
just
my
yeah,
ambition has always been to, as close to being unfiltered as I can, post anything that I think is interesting. And if it's
Yeah.
like something that I believe will be popular, then yeah, sometimes I pander too much. I feel myself, I'll post something because I think it will get laughs as opposed to it's something that made me laugh. But I try to be more
Yeah.
like, this is me. That's
Yeah.
at least my aspiration to be somewhat true to
Yeah.
myself and say, this is actually something that I'm actually interested in. And it doesn't feel like,
Yeah. Yeah.
shilling out and trying to sell something or try um, to appease people or yeah
Yeah.
I want it to be me. That's when I'm at
Yeah.
my best, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess that's like the really nice part about a lot of the like my favorite accounts, like
yeah,
meme accounts and shitpost accounts, is
yeah,
when their voice comes through,
yeah.
you know.
What do you think that people are like in general, just like people of the world? Who are they?
Quite various.
Yeah. It varies a little.
uh, yeah, it
Yeah,
definitely varies. And then I think that it also like is pretty much the same, you know. I think we're all here surviving, and survival looks like literally 7+ billion things. Yeah, that's what I think.
yeah. uh,
Yeah.
good answer. I agree. um, what's something that you wish that more people knew about you, about the world, about something big, something small, anything?
Wow, my God. Um, what do I wish people knew? Um, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. I think like I wish that people, what I wish that people knew was that uh, like animals are cool. And like looking at, and if you could ever, if any time that you spend looking at or being with animals is going to be good.
What's the last animal that you spent time with that you enjoyed?
Oh, well, cat.
Yeah.
Cats. Yeah, I have three cats. I have three cats. And
Nice.
I'm very, very obsessed with them. But yeah, I think animals are just like they're kind of like, to me, the key to like remembering what life is really all about. And I think that that's what I like about them. And I
Yeah.
think if everybody knew that, it would also help them a little bit.
I forget who said it. Somebody, some like philosopher or writer or whatever, said that before you've loved an animal or had a pet or whatever, there's a part of you that remains like unawakened, and I think there's truth to that, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes,
Um,
100,000%. My partner says to me that if I didn't have a cat,
yeah,
he doesn't know like what would happen to me.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's what makes my life complete. And I'm
Nice.
like, it's yeah, that's the truth.
I'm
That's
glad
the
to hear
truth
that.
about me. Yeah. But I am also I love all of the animals. I tell people that all the
You
time. I
don't
love
discriminate.
all of
Yeah,
them. No
yeah.
discrimination. Yeah,
I had a
including the human one. I like, even though they bug me the most, but it's because like we're the closest to each other.
yeah,
So
yeah,
if
definitely.
you're bugging me, I totally know why,
Yeah, sure.
Like you're being stupid.
I had an ant in my kitchen the other day, and I had to kill it so it wouldn't go get
Yeah.
all its ants friends and come back inside and destroy
Yep.
my pantry.
Yeah.
But I did
Uh,
not feel good about that. So
yeah, I've had to commit like ant genocides, and it's
yeah,
like,
yeah, I don't like it.
sorry.
I guess Nirvana will have to wait another uh, lifetime.
Yeah,
Um,
I've got a few. I got a few to go.
who do you think I should talk to next? Who would you like to hear from?
Okay. Okay. I would want to hear from, oh my gosh, this is so hard. This is a great question though. But you who I love is poet laureate of clowns, poet laureate of clowns. Is she gone?
I
Is
don't
she
know.
off? She's great. If
Okay,
you don't know her,
all right.
you ought to find it.
I'll add
Uh,
her. Yeah.
poet laureate of clowns, or I mean, yeah, I gobble me, swallow me.
Yeah,
That would be
that
a
would be a big
blast.
win. Yeah.
That would be a blast. I could. I could imagine her not being into it though.
This is
She,
exactly what
yeah,
has happened, but we'll see. I haven't given up.
yeah, yeah. But and you know who I think would be so down to do it, and he would be really fun is yeah, spinal meningitis.
Yeah, yeah, that
Yeah.
would be fun.
Um,
Good
yeah,
suggestions.
or who else? There's so many good ones though. Just just do them all.
Yeah, all right, I'll try.
Oh, you know, reality is fake, 666.
That's a good one. Okay.
You know who else though? Final form. I'm always like, what?
Oh, yeah, good call.
And I watched your hyena cyclone one, and that was so fun.
Yeah, she's
A
amazing.
total. I think I had no idea who I was going to be seeing
Yeah,
on the other side of
same.
hyena
Which
cyclone, and
which
that
makes
was
it
like
so
a
exciting
blast.
when
Yes.
you
Yeah.
click like join the meeting and you start the recording and then anything can happen. Yeah,
That was very like cool and unexpected. I
yeah,
was like, this is cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She's
Um,
amazing.
gosh,
Um,
yeah.
I know
Those are my
you have things you need to get to, and we're
I
a little
do.
bit past the hour, but I have a
Yeah.
couple of just like closing questions.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
the first one was, what was this interview like compared to your expectations?
Fun and easy.
Yeah,
Non-intimidating.
and how are you feeling
Um,
now? Because you were
Casual
jittery.
discussion.
Yeah,
I was jittery. I'm pretty chill,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I'd
Do
say
I
so.
seem chillish?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel cool. Cool as a cucumber.
nice.
No, I mean like I'm a little weird, but that's to be expected.
That's right.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
but overall, you had a
Yeah.
good time.
How do you feel? Did I do okay?
Yeah. So I knew going into this that this would be good, but
Yeah.
you surprised me with like how lovely you are. I really like this. Um, I'm glad
Oh,
we did this, and I'm very grateful again that you said
yes.
that you do it.
Yeah, this
Um,
this was fun. I was like, okay, I'll do it.
if
It'll
there
be fun.
is ever like a part two to this, would it be okay if I reached out again?
Totally.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay.
Do you have any questions
Okay.
for me?
Well, actually, when did you start your account?
Um, I had an Instagram account like way back in the day where I would
Yeah,
post
the original days
yeah, exactly, where I would try to look cool in front of friends and family kind of a thing.
and monuments.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And
Mhm.
then yeah, I just tried to like brag a little about things that nobody really cared about that were not that impressive, but they were,
Uh-huh.
milestones to me. Um,
Yeah.
at some point I started reposting a handful of accounts that I still follow to this day. Most of them, the ones that are still around, I still follow them. And people would, they would like it. Most people would just sort of observe, stand idly by, and be like, "Oh, this is weird," or "Why is he posting something that seems so political, or so angry, or so artsy, or whatever?" And
Yeah, yeah,
I could feel like a polarization where a small group they really gravitated towards it. They loved it, and they do the crying, laughing emoji and the fire
yeah.
and heart. But most people just like do not interact with me at all. And
Yeah. Hmm.
then I felt weird about that. And at some point, I think right before or right after the pandemic, I decided, you know what? I feel a little lonely. I want to share stuff. I'm not getting a good response. I'll just do something that's anonymous and just opens it up to the world. And then
Ah,
it did not
okay.
take very long for me to get invited to some group chat somewhere. And a handful
Okay.
of people in there were, like Instagram celebrities, I guess. They would have
Yeah.
50,000 plus followers. And they
Yeah,
took a
yeah.
shine to me for some reason and reposted a couple of
Nice.
things. And all of a sudden, my account, blew up. And then
Yeah.
a couple of celebrities started following it too, like actual, like Hollywood type celebrities, which blew my mind. Um,
Yeah.
and then yeah, and then it grew and grew and grew, and I started toning
Yeah.
down the content a little because I didn't want to get deleted.
In trouble.
And then for whatever
Yeah.
reason, I got deleted anyway for reasons I never quite understood or agreed with. And
Yeah.
I got violations where they never said what I did wrong, even, which I always thought was so strange, Like, for the most part, they will
Yeah.
say, "Oh, this is illicit drugs or sex or soliciting prostitution or terrorist organization, whatever it may be, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, every so often you'd get a strike and it just said like your post was deleted, and then for
Yeah.
violating our
I
guidelines.
Yeah, when they do that, it's always so, like, random and weird, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
I think that Can't Delete has been shut down twice, and
yeah,
I can't even I think it was one time for some Miley Cyrus picture that I was like, "What?"
yeah.
Uh,
That's how
and
they
then I
get you.
don't know. That's I
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
It's like, so it's so weird how that happens,
yeah.
but yeah, you were, yeah, one of the first accounts that, like, a huge accounts that I was like, "Whoa, what? Why is my thing getting reposted by this? Whoa."
It was
You
so
know?
funny because I could feel such a shift in the dynamic because when I was tiny, when I had 200 followers and I was excited about that, I would go into people's stories that I just followed at random, and I would take whatever they posted and put their little thing on it to link back to them,
Yeah.
and they would get back to me like um, thinking that I was being creepy or weird or whatever. Which
Oh,
I mean, depending on your vantage point, like maybe. Um,
sure.
but then
It could be seen either way.
yeah, but then some time passed and I grew a lot, and all of a sudden people were flattered and they were excited to see me repost
Yeah.
them, and they would be like humbled by it
Yeah.
and oh, I'm starstruck. And I'm like, it's the exact same behavior to people that at least from my limited view, are very similar to the people that were offended before. But yeah, just like the internet
Yeah.
clout changes things, which is very strange. But I like to think of myself as still being the guy who posts whatever makes me giggle, and that's the thing that sort of remains true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think you are famous.
In a
You have to
very
accept
very
it.
limited little circle. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A limited big circle
Yeah. All right.
with Bo and Yang,
That's
right?
that's right.
Is
Yeah.
it isn't Bowen here?
Sorry.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Because doesn't Bowen Yang follow you
Oh,
or followed your original account, right?
I don't know. Yeah. Whoa. Okay. I think the
Yes.
internet is breaking down again. But we're at time anyway.
Yeah.
Like Amy, thank you so much. This was so
Oh
much
no.
fun.
Yes, we are.
I'll share
Yes.
this with you
Thank you.
soon, and
This
we'll
is a blast.
yeah. Thank you.
Okay,
Have a good
cool.
night.
Well, bye.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Bye.
You too.